Welcome, everyone, to Senior Care Insights, your channel for really digging into senior health and well-being.
Glad to be here.
Today, we've got a conversation lined up between two experts ourselves, really with, years of experience in geriatric health and psychology. And we're going to do a deep dive into some really connected topics, super important for staying healthy as we age.
That's right. We'll be hitting on protein, dietary shifts, bone health.
Yep. Preventing muscle loss, the dangers of, well, not getting enough nutrition.
And boosting that immune system. It all ties together.
Exactly. It's fascinating how interconnected it all is. Our nutritional needs definitely change, don't they?
They absolutely do. And being proactive, especially as we get older, well, it can make a world of difference to overall health.
Okay, so let's unpack this, starting with something, fundamental, protein. It's not just for bodybuilders, is it?
Oh, definitely not. Our experience shows it's vital for older adults.
So why exactly is it so crucial? Well, protein really is a cornerstone, even as we age. Think of it like the basic building block for, well, almost everything.
Building block, like for muscles.
Exactly. Building and repairing muscle tissue, which, naturally tends to decline. But also, it's essential for creating antibodies.
Ah, the things that fight off illness.
Precisely. And for making new cells generally, which helps us bounce back faster if we get sick or injured.
And if seniors don't get enough, the consequences can be pretty serious.
Indeed they can. Insufficient protein, it can kick off a whole cascade of issues.
Like muscle loss.
That's the big one, sarcopenia, which we'll talk more about. But also a weaker immune system. You get sick more easily, take longer to recover. It's a real problem.
And our experience also tells us that older adults often face specific challenges getting enough protein.
That's true. Several factors often come into play. Appetite often decreases, for one.
So they just eat less overall.
Right. And on top of that, digestion just isn't always as efficient as it used to be. So breaking down and absorbing the protein they do eat can be harder. That brings up whey protein. You hear about that a lot. What's the deal with whey for seniors?
Whey is interesting. It's considered a really high-quality protein, complete protein.
Meaning it has all the essential amino acids.
Exactly, all 9 that our bodies can't make themselves. Plus, it's generally easy to digest and absorb. So it's a convenient way to boost intake, especially if appetite is low.
Okay.
Some research even suggests it helps with cell recovery and immunity.
So how much protein should older adults actually be aiming for daily? Is there a number?
Well, based on current understanding, a good target is around 60 to 70 grams a day.
Which is maybe a bit higher than for younger adults.
Often, yes. And that's specifically to help counteract that age-related muscle loss. It's like our muscles get a bit less sensitive to protein signals as we age.
Ah, so you need a bit more to get the message through.
Kind of like turning up the volume, yeah. That 60, 70 grams helps ensure the signal for muscle maintenance is heard loud and clear.
Makes sense. So what are the warning signs? How might we spot protein deficiency?
You'd look for things like noticeable muscle loss or weakness, feeling unusually tired or fatigued all the time.
Okay.
And maybe getting sick more often than usual. Those can be red flags.
And where can seniors find these complete proteins, the good stuff?
Lots of great options, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
Eggs, milk, meat, poultry, fish. Those are all excellent complete sources.
What about plant-based?
Soy products, like tofu, are complete too. And even with incomplete plant proteins, like from vegetables, nuts, grains, you can combine them through the day.
Like beans and rice.
Exactly. Or peanut butter on whole wheat. Combining those covers all the essential amino acids. So variety helps if you're not eating much meat or dairy.
And there's specific research on whey protein in older adults showing benefits.
Yes, absolutely. Some studies suggest whey supplementation could help stimulate muscle growth and improve strength, particularly in older men.
That's encouraging.
Yeah, one study showed muscle gain and better strength in men over 70 who took whey along with calcium, vitamin D, omega-3s for about 5 months. It's promising.
Definitely. And it's not just muscle building, it helps with injury recovery too.
Exactly. Having enough protein provides those building blocks needed to repair damaged tissues, strengthen tendons, ligaments, helps you heal faster.
It really sounds like our bodies just use protein less effectively as we age.
That's a key takeaway.
Yeah.
Muscles become less responsive to those growth signals from protein.
So the higher intake helps overcome that.
Right. And whey can be super convenient for folks with poor appetites to get that boost without needing huge meals.
Is there a sort of recommended way to use whey for, say, boosting resistance?
Well, one suggestion for those needing an extra boost is maybe half a scoop mixed with, say, 150 milliliters of water, maybe 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
Best taken maybe 2 to 3 hours after meals.
Mm-hmm.
But, always best to check with a doctor or dietitian first. Get personalized advice.
Good point. Always personalized. Okay, that's great on protein. Let's broaden out a bit. Talk about the bigger picture dietary changes, the challenges older adults face. It's more than just protein, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Metabolism, for instance. It naturally slows down.
Meaning we need fewer calories.
Generally, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe around 30% less energy needed compared to younger folks, partly due to less muscle mass, maybe less activity too.
And it's not just calories. How we process nutrients changes too.
Precisely. We mentioned protein digestion becoming less efficient. Also, the liver might make less albumin, another key protein. And interestingly, too much red meat might lead to less beneficial substances forming in the colon.
What about sugars and fats? Does tolerance change there?
Often, yes. Reduced tolerance for sugary foods is common, increasing diabetes risk. Maybe less insulin production or cells become resistant.
Okay. And fats?
Sometimes the enzyme lipase, which breaks down fats, becomes less active. That can sometimes lead to higher blood fat levels.
And it's not just the macros, protein, fat, carbs, but other things too, like water, vitamins.
Absolutely. The sense of thirst can diminish. Big risk for dehydration.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And less sun exposure, common for older adults, means less vitamin D synthesis in the skin. Another potential issue.
There are practical challenges too, right? Appetite, teeth.
Exactly. Loss of appetite is common. Tooth loss, ill-fitting dentures, even less saliva, all make chewing harder, especially tougher, protein-rich foods.
Which impacts digestion down the line.
Right. The whole digestive system can change. The stomach might shrink slightly, contractions weaken, less gastric acid.
Affecting nutrient absorption, like calcium and B12?
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
And slower movement through the bowels can lead to bloating, indigestion, constipation. Even liver and gallbladder function might decline gradually.
Wow, it really is a whole system undergoing changes. Okay, let's shift gears to something critical for staying mobile, bone health. What nutrients are absolutely key here?
Right. Strong bones are crucial to prevent falls and fractures. Several nutrients are vital. First off, calcium.
The main bone mineral.
Exactly. It's the structure. And older adults actually need more, maybe 1,200 to 1,500 milligrams a day.
More? Why more?
Because bone breakdown tends to increase, and we lose more calcium. If you don't get enough from diet, the body steals it from your bones, weakening them over time.
Vitamin D comes up a lot with bones too.
Absolutely essential. Think of it as the helper. It enables us to absorb calcium and phosphorus from our food and get them into the bone.
So even if you eat calcium without enough D,
your body might not use it effectively for bones. Insufficient D is a big risk factor for osteoporosis. Sunlight helps, but many seniors need supplements, maybe around 400 IU daily if sun exposure is limited.
we talked protein for muscles, but it helps bones too.
Yes, it plays a really important role. Needed for bone formation, building bone mass. Not enough protein can actually impair bone strength by affecting a growth factor called IGF-1.
IGF-1.
Yeah, it's key for stimulating bone formation. Protein influences it. But moderation is key. Too much protein might increase calcium loss. Balance is important.
Okay. What about vitamin K2? I hear that mentioned sometimes.
K2 is fascinating. It's like a traffic cop for calcium. It helps direct calcium to the bones by activating a protein called osteocalcin.
Osteocalcin binds calcium to bone.
Right. And importantly, K2 also seems to help keep calcium out of arteries, which is good for heart health too.
And magnesium and zinc, also players in bone health.
They are. Magnesium is part of the bone mineral structure itself and helps transport calcium. Deficiency can mess with calcium levels and vitamin D activity. You actually need magnesium to convert vitamin D to its active form.
I didn't know that. And zinc.
Zinc is part of proteins involved in growth hormone and that IGF-1 factor, again supporting bone and muscle development. It also has a direct role in bone formation and calcium deposition.
So where can people find all these bone-boosting nutrients? Food sources?
Lots of places. Dairy milk, cheese, yogurt, great for calcium and phosphorus. Soy products, tofu, fortified soy milk offer protein, calcium, magnesium. Soy milk can be especially good post-menopause due to estrogen content helping reduce calcium loss. Oily fish like salmon. Tuna good for calcium and vitamin D. Eggs have some calcium in the whites, vitamin D in the yolks. Lean meats, and poultry for protein.
Veggies. Fruits.
Green leafy veg for magnesium, potassium, vitamin K. Fruits like bananas, potassium oranges, D, calcium, C, mangoes, C, apples, boron. And fortified cereals can add D, calcium, magnesium, fiber.
It sounds like a really varied, nutrient-dense diet is the way to go for strong bones.
Absolutely. It's about getting that mix of key players.
Okay, let's tackle another big one. Preventing muscle loss, that sarcopenia we mentioned earlier. What exactly is it again?
Right. Sarcopenia. It's the age-related loss of both muscle mass and muscle function. It's a
Oh.
big deal because it leads to weakness, poor balance, falls, fractures, really impacts independence.
When does it typically start or get worse?
It tends to speed up after 75, but it can start creeping in as early as 65 for some, or maybe not until 80 for others. It varies.
And besides just aging, what makes it happen?
The two biggest factors we can influence are being sedentary, not enough physical activity, and poor nutrition, especially not enough calories and, again, not enough protein.
What are the signs? What should people look out for in themselves or loved ones?
Things like feeling noticeably weaker, finding it harder to get out of a chair maybe. Core balance is a big one.
Okay.
Seeing muscles actually look smaller, losing weight without trying, and just finding everyday things harder, walking, climbing stairs, lifting groceries.
So what can be done? How can older adults fight back against muscle loss?
The good news is you can fight back. The most effective approach is definitely a combo: regular exercise and a nutrient-dense diet.
Exercise first. What kind is best?
Resistance training is absolutely crucial. Anything that makes your muscles work against resistance.
Like weights.
Weights, yes, even light ones. Resistance bands. Body weight exercises like squats, push-ups even modified against a wall. These directly tell your muscles to build and maintain strength. Aim for maybe 2 to 4 sessions a week.
What about cardio or balance stuff?
Still important. Aerobic exercise like walking or swimming helps endurance. Balance exercises like Tai Chi or yoga improve stability. They all contribute to overall muscle health and flexibility. Plus, exercise actually helps your body use the protein you eat more effectively for muscle building. And the nutrition side, still focusing on protein, absolutely central. Getting enough protein is key. And as we said, older adults might need a bit more. That 0.45 grams per pound of body weight is a rough guide.
Where should they get it?
Cheese, milk, poultry, fish, peanuts. Good sources. And don't forget carbs. Healthy ones from veggies, fruits, whole grains give you the energy for the exercise.
Anything else? Omega-3s.
Creatine.
Some research suggests omega-3 rich foods and maybe creatine supplements could also help combat muscle loss. Worth looking into, perhaps.
It's good to know there are real, actionable steps people can take.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to another related risk. Protein energy malnutrition, or PEM. What is that exactly? PEM means not getting enough protein and not enough overall calories or energy. It's serious concern, especially for older adults, maybe those living alone or with other health issues.
Is it common?
Unfortunately, studies show a significant number of folks over 65 aren't getting enough protein and calories consistently.
And that leads to poorer health.
Definitely. PEM is linked to worse health outcomes, lower quality of life, poorer results when dealing with other illnesses.
We know low protein means muscle loss. What else does PEM do?
Well, besides the muscle loss leading to falls, it weakens the immune system, makes you prone to infections, slows wound healing, causes fatigue, can impair thinking,
Yeah.
just an overall decline.
Why does it happen? Why do older adults sometimes not get enough?
Could be many reasons. Less activity might mean less appetite. Illnesses impact appetite and absorption. Sometimes just decreased food intake due to social isolation, cost, difficulty shopping or cooking.
And the dental issues again?
Absolutely.
Right.
Problems chewing protein-rich foods, even just ill-fitting dentures, can make a huge difference.
So what are the practical solutions? How can we prevent or address PEM?
Nutrition experts really emphasize including protein at every meal, not just dinner.
Like what?
Eggs for breakfast, maybe? Yogurt or nuts with porridge? Lentil soup with cheese or ham on bread for lunch? Chicken or fish for dinner, especially if red meat is tough. Stews are great. The meat is usually softer.
And dairy products seem doubly good here.
Yes, because they offer both protein and calcium for bone health. Some studies link higher yogurt intake in seniors with better bone density and physical function. So definitely beneficial.
Clear link there. Okay, let's talk immunity. Always important, but especially as we age, right? How can older adults boost their immune systems?
A strong immune system is vital, and it does tend to become a bit less robust naturally with age, so boosting it is key. Number 1, vaccinations.
Flu shot, pneumonia, shingles.
Exactly. Staying up to date is critical. Vaccines train the immune system to recognize and fight specific threats by producing antibodies. Highly effective.
And diet's role in immunity must be huge.
Fundamental. A balanced, scientific diet. Key vitamins include B vitamins, C, and the fat-soluble ones, A, D, E, K.
Should people take supplements?
If dietary intake is low, maybe. especially if malnourished, absorption issues, very restrictive diets, but definitely talk to a doctor first. Don't want interactions or unnecessary pills.
What about fruits and vegetables specifically for immunity?
Crucial. Things like broccoli, carrots, berries, sweet potatoes packed with vitamins, minerals immune cells need. Plus, fiber.
Fiber helps the gut,
Yes, fiber feeds the good bacteria in our gut, the microbiome. And a healthy gut microbiome is increasingly linked to strong overall immunity.
which brings us to probiotics. Those are the good bacteria themselves.
Essentially, yes.
Yes.
Beneficial bacteria and yeasts. They help balance the gut microbiota. Research suggests they can improve immunity in older adults, maybe reduce respiratory infections by strengthening the gut lining.
Where do you find them?
Yogurt, some cheeses, and supplements.
And protein again, important for immunity too.
Absolutely vital. Protein is needed to make antibodies, immunoglobulins.
Oh,
The soldiers of the immune system. So lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy, tofu, beans, all important.
what about fats? Are they all bad for immunity?
Not at all. Healthy fats, especially omega-3s, from things like eggs, yogurt, avocado, nuts, olive oil, provide energy, support organ function, and actually promote healthy immune function and metabolism.
What should seniors limit for better immunity?
Definitely limit added sugars. High sugar intake can impair immune cell function. Also, stay hydrated. Water is crucial.
Okay.
And minimize processed and fast foods. They often have preservatives, unhealthy fats, and can mess with that important gut bacteria balance.
Beyond diet, what other lifestyle habits boost immunity?
Maintaining a healthy weight, not too high, not too low. Regular physical activity, walking, yoga, swimming, enhances metabolism and immune function.
Chris.
Huge factors. Manage stress, exercise, meditation, whatever works. Chronic stress disrupts immunity. And get enough good quality sleep, vital for immune cell function, especially T cells that fight infection.
Anything else? Hygiene, checkups.
Good hygiene, hand washing, clean living environment, regular health checkups to catch underlying issues. Quitting smoking, massive benefit for immunity. Avoiding excessive alcohol helps the gut microbiome.
So supplements are okay, but check with a doctor first.
Exactly. They can bridge gaps, but a food-first approach is best. Get professional advice before adding supplements.
Got it. Lastly, any specific thoughts for more vulnerable seniors, like frail individuals or those with chronic diseases or HIV?
Yes, quick points. For frail adults, focus on mental well-being, social connection, gentle exercise like walking, a balanced fiber-rich diet, and regular checkups.
Okay. Chronic diseases.
Stress management is key. Healthy lifestyle, rest, regular exercise, maybe outdoors for vitamin D, which can be low, and stick to checkups.
And for individuals with HIV?
A nutrient-rich diet is critical. Boosts resistance, reduces inflammation, lowers risk of other diseases. Focus on fiber, quality protein, essential vitamins, minerals like D, calcium, iron, healthy fats, and plenty of water.
This has been incredibly comprehensive. We've covered so much: ground protein, bones, muscles, nutrition risks, immunity.
It really highlights how these areas are woven together for healthy aging.
It truly does. And it shows there are proactive steps everyone can take. Taking charge of nutrition and lifestyle makes a huge difference to quality of life.
Absolutely. Understanding these things empowers people to make choices that support their health and independence for years to come.
Well, we really hope all of you listening found this deep dive valuable. If you did, please give the video a like.
Yeah, and share it with anyone you think might benefit.
Leave your comments, questions down below. We love hearing from you. And most importantly, please subscribe to Senior Care Insights. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future discussions on senior health and psychology.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks everyone for tuning in.